All right, so I have not done a great job of vlogging for Ketchupathon, and it's actually the last day of Ketchupathon, but I'm continuing it on because I want to finish the books that I've set for my TBR for book of the month for the month. So Ketchupathon is going to be longer because I make my own rules, but I did my TBR video. You guys have seen that. So I'm going to talk about, I'm almost done with 3 books of my 6 that I've picked for the month from book of the month. I am really not smart in that I scheduled my yearly physical for 1:10 p.m. today, forgetting that you have to fast for 12 hours. Usually I do it first thing in the morning so that I'm not like starving. It's just ready to go, you know, first thing. I can have coffee, but I'm like, the other thing is I'm starving right now. I have 4 hours until I can eat. I don't give blood very well. My veins aren't good. And so I'm like chugging a ton of water because I have to. Like, I will not be able to give blood. But anyways, let's talk about the books that I've read so far. On audio, I just finished American Fire by Monica Hesse, and I gave this like 3 stars. It's true crime it's about an arsonist that lights like 80 fires and burns down 80 vacant properties in a span of like 3 months in Virginia. And I think this might have resonated more in like 2017 when it came out. I think the author was trying to make ties to like how rural communities feel left out by certain policies, and that's why the person burnt things down. It was also a talk about, like, half the book was about the fires, like very fast paced what was happening, but you never really knew. You knew who did it, but you didn't really know why. And then once they capture them, they go into the why, and it just felt the pacing was very off because it didn't really work. So the argument was like that they did it for love, and I don't know, it lost me once they started going into the why. And I think just how it was structured, it should have been more interspersed into the fires being lit. And there were like asides from people that knew the criminals that just, I don't know, it didn't work for me. It really fell apart honestly about 40% in, and I was just listening to it on audio, so it was fine. The audiobook narrator was fine. Glad I got it off my shelf. It'll be going on my Pango here shortly. And then I finished The Ministry of Time, and I gave this like 4.5 stars. I loved this. It's a very unique writing style. It is described as time travel, but not. This is about a civil servant who is unnamed in the British ministry, and she is assigned to be a bridge. So the ministry is plucking people out of history who were going to die anyways, for some nefarious purpose, maybe for some research purpose. The bridge doesn't know. She is just there to assimilate this man, Graham Gore, into the 21st century. And he is a naval captain. His boat like froze in the Arctic in 1847 or 1867. I forget what his number is. But he dies in the Arctic. You can look him up. He's a real person. And she and him like are in present day assimilating. It's really funny. There's a lot of wry humor, very meta writing at points, very self-aware. But then they fall in love, and then there's like the nefarious plot of the ministry / the science behind it and why they were doing this. That was very interesting. So it starts kind of slow, and then in the middle I really got sucked in, and then the last like 100 pages is chef's kiss. It's so good, you guys. It deserves the hype. So 4.5, really enjoyed it. All right, and then I'm off today because of life admin stuff, but also just a mental health day. So I am gonna finish Normal People. I'm pretty close to finishing it. I both am liking this and hate reading it. I can't decide how I feel about it because the characters are just, oh God, they could just communicate. That'd be cool. It's about Marianne and Connell. Marianne is super wealthy. Connell is like more impoverished, like lower class. His mom cleans for Marianne's family, and that's how they kind of become friends in high school, but then they become lovers, and in a very juvenile way. And they kind of like bring out the worst in each other, but they clearly love each other. And the book is like it follows them both throughout years of their lives and how they always kind of are drawn back to each other. They run in the same circles, but it's such a toxic relationship, and I just don't know. But this also doesn't have quotations, which a lot of people I know, it really bothers them. I don't mind it as well. Like once I got into the story, I didn't really notice it. I think just the toxicity of it isn't the best. I think that's why I can't decide if I love or hate it. The writing is good. Sally Rooney is a great author. Or a great writer. I just don't know yet how I feel other than this is toxic. I want to watch the Hulu series. I need to just get Hulu because there's like 15 shows I need to watch now based on books. But also I think Joe Alwyn plays Connell in the series. So could be a hate watch maybe? Hate read, hate watch? I don't know. We'll see what the vibe is, but I'm feeling very off of it. Off and unsure right now, but I'm going to finish it. So that'll be the 3 books. I still have The Lion Woman of Tehran, A Good Neighborhood, and A Woman Is No Man. I'm going to read one of these next and then intersperse A Good Neighborhood in between because these both are like have Middle Eastern settings, and so I don't know if they'll be like too similar. And then this will be a good just palette cleanser, I think. So that's the plan. Okay, I just finished Normal People and I don't know what to read it. I don't know how I feel. Like, I hated the characters so much and their lack of communication was so bad and just the toxicity. But I liked her writing. I'm pissed at how it ended. I don't know. It's just such a strange book. Like, they are such bad people for each other. I really want to watch the Hulu series because I want to see how it's portrayed. I don't know. I'm going to give it a 3 right now. Could be a 2 or it could be a 4. Like, seriously, I don't know where I'm at with it. But I like books like that. I like bad people, toxic people in books. I don't know. I felt like angry at these characters. I felt real feelings about their actions. But I hated their actions. I don't know what to rate this. Could be like a best book of the year. I don't know, you guys. So I'm gonna give it 3 stars right now. I will adjust it maybe later. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it 4. And then we'll adjust from there. God, I don't know. I think I'll keep it at 4 because it did take me a long time to read and I didn't feel compelled to pick it up very many times. So it was one of those I had to force. Okay, just kidding. I'm putting it at 3. That just answered my question. Thanks for this existential crisis and listening to me pontificate on it. Okay, pontificate. Anyways, I haven't been eating. You know, my doctor's appointment is in 3 hours, so we'll see if I can get smart. Okay, I finished 3 books. Hi everybody. So for Ketchupathon, this has become like a month, like the whole month reading vlog because I can do that. I have tried A Good Neighborhood all the ways. I've tried it on audio. I have tried to read it physically. I've tried it on audio twice and I've never gotten more than like to page 20 to page 30. I'm DNFing it. So I know like one of the things was I'm trying to read my book of the month shelf, and if things aren't serving me anymore, it's time to go. So I hardly know anything about this book, but I just am not jiving with it. The author is white and she's writing about a racially tinged conflict in a suburban neighborhood. And there's something about her tone that I don't love. And I I think authors can write people of a different race to them. I think that's fine. She like explicitly calls this out at the beginning or in like the narration of the audiobook that like she felt weird doing it, and then one of her writer friends told her she should do it, or Zadie Smith or something, I think, said something about it in a speech or in an interview at one point. So she took that as, yes, I should write these characters. And it just didn't sit well with me. Like, it almost seemed like she's like, I know people are going to complain because I'm a white woman writing Black characters. I'm going to do it anyways because Zadie Smith said I could. And like, I get that to a point, but I don't know. There was just something about how she said it that rubbed me the wrong way. And then reading the characters, I just don't care about this book. I'm trying to see if I can find, yeah, her acknowledgements talk about it. And like, I appreciate her for being transparent and mindful about being a white author writing Black people, but I don't know. This book is just not doing it for me. I don't care about it. I don't feel inclined to pick it up. So I think I'm just gonna say DNF, we're done. No worries about it. I'll get it off my shelf and we're good. Hey everyone, so we just have had a super fun summer. This month of August has been great, so you've seen a lot of B-roll from August, obviously. Ketchupathon, remember I made this a whole month-long thing. So I am 2/3, almost, actually I'd say 3/4 of the way through The Lion Women of Tehran. I loved her first book, The Stationery Shop. And this is about friendship in Iran as they're going through tumultuous times in the 60s and 70s. It follows a friendship from basically the 60s to the 80s. And these women who are liberated and like want to be lawyers and change the world, then a betrayal happens and they stop becoming friends or they fall apart. And then Iran goes into, they have a revolution and they install the Ayatollah, who makes Iran from this like westernized country to the Iran we know today, which is extremely conservatively religious. Women have to be in hijab, all of that. And one of them ends up fleeing to the United States or going to the United States for work, and they end up just staying there because it's better here than there. But this is really about friendship over time, and what it means to be a friend. It's as good as her first one. She does such a good job of like making historical fiction novel not feel historical fiction, you know? It's very easy to read. There's some very heartbreaking things in this book. She's so good at making you feel things. I think this will easily be a 5-star read once I'm done with it, but I just need to finish it. However, it's August 31st. I want to finish this tonight. It is 8 o'clock, and we also want to watch Rings of Power. My dogs are being next level right now. But this video will be going up tomorrow, so hopefully I have this finished before I put this video up and give you guys my final thoughts. Okay, checking in from finishing The Lion Women of Tehran. It was a 5-star read, easily. I love how much she writes. It's historical, but she's a fiction, and she talks about this, how she's a writer of stories. And she just tells the story of these two friends so well. This book will stick with me for a really long time. It will probably be in one of the top books of the year. So that's pretty cool, like a 5-star read. I haven't had very many of those lately. So that's exciting. That's my Ketchupathon. To recap, I read, one second. All right, so I can't remember like the exact prompts for Ketchupathon. And I don't care at this point. Like, that's the main priority is just getting book of the month books off my shelf. So I think I set a TBR of 6 books. I'm getting 5 books off my shelf. So I finished The Lion Women of Tehran. This is 5 stars. I DNF'd A Good Neighborhood. I'm gonna get rid of this. I read Normal People, and I think this is actually a 5-star read as well. Really liked it. It's one of those books that like, as you're reading it, you hate every moment and all the characters and the decisions they're making, and it's kind of stressful. but I can't stop thinking about it, and her writing was just so good. So I think this might also be a 5 star. So 2 5 stars. The Ministry of Time. I really, really like this. I'd say this is about a 4-star read. Right now I'm trying to think about what reviews I put on Goodreads and like where I'm at now, because I read these earlier on in the month. Really, really enjoyed this. This was so much fun. I get all the hype. I get why it's on all the lists right now. So fun. If you haven't read it, I would recommend it. And then I did American Fire on audio, and this was just kind of meh, middle of the road. 2.5 stars, I think is what I'd give it. Because initially it had like this really great true crime component, but then when we found out who actually did it and why, I just couldn't care about the story or the people, and I didn't like how the author set it up. The structure was just a little off. So I also don't think this necessarily aged well, because I think she was trying to tie it. This came out in 2017, so it was like right after Trump got elected. But I think she was maybe trying to make an argument about like rural America in a way that just didn't work for me, and why they act or believe the way that they do. And if you contrast this to like Uprooted, which I read earlier this year and just adored, I don't think the author really got what she was trying to do across. So 2.75, but yeah, getting 5 book of the months off my shelf is awesome. As you know, that's kind of one of the goals, is to just read down all the book of the months that I can. So I'm pretty excited about this month, and that I found a book I didn't need anymore. Yeah, that's a pretty good stack.